Okay, good morning, soon to be afternoon, YouTube and Twitch. This is Harmony Muse, back with more Final Fantasy. As you see, I'm establishing a bit of a schedule. The daytime stream is going to be Final Fantasy XIV. Evening stream is going to be another game. Usually, at the moment, that game is going to be Shroud of the Avatar. Now, what we're going to do for now is because I need to make level 35. Because the quest, or the main story quest, jumped from 33 to 35. Good way to do that is to start clearing out story quest, or Hunter's Log. Okay, so we've got... So what we're going to do is we're going to go clear out a couple of enemies. Eastern Thanalan, we've got Furbles. Place called, well, look what we're in Eastern Thanalan. Okay, let's go get those Furbles. Get that bit done. Well, might as well go ahead and get the axe beaks we need up there as well. But yeah, what we did yesterday, for those who missed it, was we finally finished doing all of the various grunt work for the Company of Heroes, which turned out they were secret tests of character, like I was saying they were going to be, to see whether or not they felt that I was fit to fight Titan for them. So then we went and fought Titan. You know, it was a good fight. My friend Fan on his character Misha came and joined us. And did a great job of healing. And after that, we went back to the Waking Sands and found that the Garleans had came in and wrecked everything. Being the assholes that they are. Another one. I don't know why, but the word Furble sounds dirty to me. Might just be my imagination, might just be my own dirty mind talking. We've got those. Now what do we need over here as well? Axe beaks. We find those in Welwick Wood, it says, which probably means go north. And here we have our axe beaks. Many are the faces that shall be erected. That's 3. How to find a 4th? Don't tell me they only spawn 3 of them. Oh, there's another one. Alright, time for you to die. got that kill marker done. We got stone shells and tree. Okay, Lenosha, Thanalon. Ahoo! Ahoo! Excuse me. We got Upper Lenosha, East Shroud, Southern Thanalon, South Shroud, North Shroud, Southern Thanalon, North Shroud, Central Shroud, and Central Shroud. Well, we're going to work through it. It shouldn't take too long. I do like that speed increase. I can't wait to see what a step 2 speed increase is like, but I think that's reserved for Stormblood. I could be wrong. One moment. Sorry about that. Needed some caffeine. Okay, one thing we're going to do when we hit level 35, not only are we going to stop and do the warrior quest before we do Qarn, we're also going to upgrade our gear. Because unlike level 1 to 30, job quests, except for 45 and 50, do not provide you gear. That's North Shroud, Central Shroud, Central Shroud. North Shroud, South Shroud, Western Thanalon, East Shroud, and Upper Lenosha. So let's get to Western Thanalon, get that kill knocked out. We can take the boat over to Lenosha and get that fairly quickly as well. Now again, I have to state, the warrior content is entirely new to me. I've never done those quests before. And something else I will cop to doing is when I do hit level 50, I am going to take a break from the main story quest and I'm going to go see about the new Stormblood classes, Samurai and Paladin. I'm sorry, Samurai and Red Mage. I mean, they may be DPS classes and not one of my beloved tanks, but I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit of a nerd for things Japanese. So being able to play a Samurai, that appeals to me. And way back in the old days of MUDs, which were what we had in the stone ages of the internet, back before MMORPGs existed, when we had to read to play video games. I played a mage character that I called the Red Mage. It was also one of my favorite classes in early Final Fantasy games, because you sacrificed raw power for versatility. In Final Fantasy I, a red mage could do a little bit of white magic, it could do a little bit of black magic, and it could also equip some fairly decent weapons and armor. You know, they were nowhere remotely as good at any one of those roles as a dedicated character, but you could fit any role in a pinch if you needed to. Now, in later games, red mages came with, you know, some very good benefits. In Final Fantasy V, for example, the red mage class... Sorry for the continued sniffling. Again, I've got a deviated septum. It keeps my nose constantly stuffed up. Anyway, the red mage in Final Fantasy V had a special ability. I mean, they were one of the most expensive classes to train up, but they had an ability called dual cast, or known in the earlier translations as X magic. What dual cast could do was it allowed you to cast 2 spells in the same turn. And here's the trick. They didn't have to be of the limited spells that a red mage knew. You could take that dual cast from red mage, put it on a master level summoner or black mage, toss out 2 summons of Bahamut around, or toss out 2 castings of Flare or Meteor around. And you would burn through your MP like nobody's business, but if you wanted to absolutely ensure that something died fast, it was a useful ability. And that ability carried on to later games. I mean, I believe that I believe that there was a dual cast ability like that in Final Fantasy X. I could be wrong. I mean, 8 was a weird game that, well, it really didn't matter. We had the Uki's Shroud. Okay, Thanel and the Footfalls. Okay. So this is where my Yarzons are. Do I help? I help. People helped me like this in the past, I'm going to help them. There's always a matter of seals as well. Now the Yarzons I need are just a bit ahead. But I can spare a couple of minutes to finish out a fate, which will A, get me XP and seals, B, get them what they're needing. Where are our Yarzons? Are they further ahead? They might be. Time to get mounted again. Here we go, Yarzon. And because I'm doing more damage than, or fighting stuff way below my level, stuff is adding like that. Checking one thing, okay. Another one, okay, and here, 2 more. Another hunter mark. We aren't going to mess with it. We're going to leave it right where it is. We're going to go get our Lenosian kill marks, which are the stone shell and the stone shell. Okay. And what part of Lenosha was that? Upper Oakwood. Okay, I know where that is. I'll just teleport. Okay. Figure might as well use them. I'm going through them so quickly, or going through them so slowly. Alrighty. And I teleported on Choco back. That's good. The reason I teleported to Upper Lenosha like this, or to Western Lenosha rather than Upper, the crap. I'm getting turned around because I can't see where I'm going with the map up. There's Upper Lenosha is cut into 2 sections. The section I need for the kill quota is on the wrong side of the Aetheryte crystal. So I'm having to come this way. It'll be faster and less expensive. And that sounds like my #1 fan. Hi, Mom. Love the rain in this. It moves with the map rather than just being an overlay, so you can see the rain move as I run. It's a nice touch. A giant enemy crab. Stone shells. Find stone shells. Okay, they're right here. Well, they are not part of the fate, so... Okay. We got that done. What are our next ones? Okay, we've got you in the shroud, 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 oh, and you in the shroud. Okay, you're north, you're south, you're east. Let's go ahead and get up to Eastern Shroud. Get that knocked out. And let's get to it. So we're looking for disease tree ants in the bramble patch. That'll be easy enough. And when you wait to cash them in like this, you can see also as you level all, or Also factoring the fact that I'm much higher level and it takes more to level, going through all of this is barely putting a dent into my tick, into my bar. Oh. It's the fate. Okay. Don't know why boars are deciding they want to get frisky, but well, if you want to kill me, I'll kill you right back. Might as well get the fate done while I'm here. Looks like somebody else has the same idea. Forgot just how fun this combat can be sometimes. Even if it is repetitive. I think I got beeped out. I'll have to check it after I'm done with this fight. Nope. False alarm. And there's the level. Okay, ding. Oh, I got a challenge log for it. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Now... we're gonna go to Costa del Sol and up to that one dude, that Curious Gorge, to go get the quest, and then we're gonna go gear. And then we'll be working on Sunken Temple of Qarn. So what we know about warriors is that they're a legendary order of axe wielders from a village in the middle of BF nowhere. And this guy who left on a journey to learn the secrets can't read the book, wants me to find his brother so we can both learn the secrets of their ancient village's techniques. And again, like any classic anime, martial arts protagonist, he's training under a waterfall. Yep, no skill. Oh! So this is what they give me to spend my beast gauge. Okay. Okay. Not only does it do a massive heavy attack, which ignores the damage penalty from Defiance, it reduces my damage for a while. We like this. Okay, hey fan. Welcome back, my friend. I can see that you have not neglected your training. For my part, I fear that deciphering the ancient chronicles of my people is proving to be a much more demanding task than I had imagined. Mind you, that it hasn't helped that I have been somewhat preoccupied of late. A comrade of mine from my days in the Company of Heroes asked me to do a favor, and has taken me back and forth across the realm like some bloody fairy. I'm on a hunt for some mysterious feral beast that's been terrorizing small folk. People don't know where this monstrosity came from, but witnesses say its thirst for blood is unlike anything they've seen. Unfortunately, the time I've spent in pursuit of the beast is time I have not spent studying the chronicles, and I am sorry to say that I have made little progress. However, while on the road, I was able to decipher one passage that may be of interest to us both. From what I can gather, the chronicles tell of an ancient set of armor that my ancestors in the flames of the Seven Hells... Tell of an ancient set of armor forged by my ancestors in the flames of the Seventh Hells, and inscribed with the same incantations that adorn the soul of the warrior. It would seem that this mighty armor was passed down from hero to apprentice for centuries, until one man, driven by rage and vainglory, cast all 5 pieces from Abalathia's highest peak. Since that day, the armor has remained lost, and with it the power that it harbors. As far as I can make out, the next passage in the Chronicles concerns the whereabouts of these artifacts, though I have only been able to make out make sense of the odd word thus far. I must confess to some excitement. Imagine what a warrior clad in such garb could achieve. If only my brother were here, we could decipher the text together and spread the teachings of our people to the entire realm. Alas, he is not. His whereabouts are as hidden to me as those of the ancient armor. I would have liked you to meet him, if only so that you could have looked upon a true warrior. Well, perhaps you still shall. Eorzea is not as large as most people perceive. Paths cross, fates intertwine. Such is the will of the spinner. It may be that my brother has chosen a similar path to mine, but I have rambled long enough. You are here to take the next step in your training, and I shall oblige. In the southern face or reaches of Thanalin is the Sagali Desert, God-forsaken wasteland of naught but sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. It is here that a Leviathan of the Dune lurks, a sandworm of gargantuan proportions. When facing this mammoth creature, you will soon realize that the feeble hacks and slashes of your puny axe are ill-suited to the task of felling such a foe, but do not let that dissuade you. Wake the slumbering beast within and summon forth a strength that transcends the limits of your physical form. Mind you, you'll have to find that beast, and that might prove a tall order itself. The Yu tribe that inhabits the Forgotten Springs is wise to the movements of the denizens of the desert. Should you want for guidance, I wager they could set you in the right direction. So he wants me to take my ass out to the desert. Okay. Olda hoy hoy. I mean, I'd ask you to join me for Qarn after this, fan, but I figure you probably got class to be getting to. Wait a minute, no shit. It's the week. It's the summer for you guys. I keep forgetting. When you get old like me, you tend to forget things like the passage of seasons. Anytime I see multiple Z's or multiple X's in a name, that makes me cringe. Okay, we are coming to the market to restock, and then we're off to Southern Thanalan to go wreck some faces. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting I've got a quick opportunity to give you a little bit of a tutorial. The retainer system. Retainers are NPCs that you can hire that allow you to store equipment on them, that allow you to store money, for whatever reason, I don't know, and you can use them to sell your spare crap on the auction house, or on the market board. What you need to do first is hire a retainer. Greetings, I take it you've come to see me about a retainer. You do that at one of these vocates. You can find these vocates at every single market stall around the game. You know, they're in Ulda, they're in Gridania, they're in Limsa Lominsa. I'm fairly sure there's also one of these up in Ishgard, and I'm fairly sure the new town in Stormblood has one as well. Hire a retainer. According to our records, you may hire up to 2 retainers. Currently, you have none in your employ. When customizing your retainer, you will be unable to communicate with players and engage. Hire a retainer. Excellent. We have a few men and women on our list, so I invite you to describe the retainer you desire to our utmost detail. This is basically character creation. Let's get you some better hair. I'm not going to be looking at that every day. No, too anime. No, way too anime. Give me some sane looking hair. Screw it. Giving her a blue pompadour because why not? Okay. I'm going to name my retainer because of their pack mule natures as Pack Mule. Draft the proper documentation. Nodwick, after the henchman from the famous webcomic and from Dragon Magazine. Yep. I've now hired Nodwick, though Nodwick was originally a dude, but that'll work. Yeah, and they had to put the little tutorial thing right over what I was trying to click on, so nope. Just thinking of you. Okay. Sell items in my inventory on the market. Now, this is something that's a neat thing. I can search for the item. Let's see what the current market value of the Vitality Materia. They're currently selling for around 980, so I'm going to make mine sell faster by selling them for 900 even. Now, another thing I could sell, I've got other materia here. Sword. I had another materia to sell. Where is it? Dodo eggs, the fleece, crap I don't need, crap I won't use. Okay. Ice materia. Put up for sale. Compare prices. About 1,000. We'll put you up for 900 as well. Technically, that's going to run down the market, probably. Either that or people are going to bypass me by undercutting and undercutting. Because that's what people do in this game. While we're at it, let's go ahead and sell off some of my other stuff. It's going offering price for them. Okay. Cost of ore. I've got bronze rivet. See what a cloud axe goes for. People selling stuff for more than it's worth. Because that made me maybe 10 gil to make. Bronze claw hammer for carpentry. Put you up for 400. A chaser hammer for goldsmithing. What is your normal going rate? 15. Not worth selling you. Might as well just have you sold outright. No point in selling. No point in just not selling you. Okay, to sell items, might as well. Now, what I can do is from here, after I've sold all this off, I can come back later and periodically check the market to see if she has money left back for me. See if people are buying Gigantode skids. Yes, they are. Put you up for 1,500 because they're selling for 17. Gigantode skins can be used for making mid-level leatherworking stuff. Curl skins. Not worth keeping. Might as well just sell. Axe. Let me go ahead and sell my old axes as well. Selling off all my spare crap, because why not? And we are good. You could fan, and I appreciate that. I really could. I really do. But I've got the money. I'm not worried about it. Besides, when it comes to crafting, I'd love to try to make my own crafting if I could. But let's work on our level 35 armor. Okay, a mithril Elmo. That's something to set on fire. Oh, and it looks like the steel helmet is worse than what I've got. What do I have right now? A steel Solata. Looks like I'm stuck until I hit 38. Okay. Let's see what we got for armor. Balance are worse than what I've got. Belt is going to be good for me. Need the heavy steel flancher to go with it. Now let's take a look at the boots. Level 38. Nothing for me for now. And now let's go find the jeweler. See what she has for me. Any level 38 gems for me? Nope. Those I'm gonna have to find on the market. Let's go find a level. Let's go find a weapon craft. Oh, a weapon smithy. Get that heavy steel on. Looks kind of dorky. War arms. What do you have for a 35er? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to stick with a bouge, which sounds dorky, but I'll take it. Dropped my money a good bit, but hey. While I'm here, let's check necklaces for my level. Good crafting stuff. Yo! No. Yeah, we're good. I ain't paying that kind of prices for stuff. I mean, I will wait until I get 50 and just get my gimme rings from my quest chains. Good lord. Now to the Forgotten Springs, do my warrior quest, and then we'll do Sunken Temple of Qarn. Qarn is one of my favorite dungeons. Now, I've never tanked Qarn before. Well, I've never tanked Qarn as a warrior. I've tanked it several times as a paladin. Had fun with it. One thing I can definitely see as a warrior is that they are far more offensive than a paladin. There's a lot more offense going on. And that ain't a bad thing. I mean, you sacrifice a lot of the paladin durability, but good lord, it helps keeping group aggro. That's for damn sure. I believe that's supposed to be again, shortcut, but I'll have to try it out next time I go that way, but, well, live and learn. I mean, I don't like this armor because I can't see my character's face. One thing I often did as a paladin when I was wearing heavy helmets is I would disable... Ooh. I would disable the helmet so I could see my character's face. Because it's usually a trope in anime that if somebody's face is hidden, that's the person to look out for because they're the villain. A Leviathan of the Dunes saw the fearsome bugger not a week ago, preying on the group of merchants near Barragat Strike. The smart ones dropped their wares, turned tail, and ran. The dumb ones, well, at least they can say they died rich. And they are in here. Didn't know this door opened. Good to know. I'd seen the beast. Stands 3 miles high, he does, and stirs up sandstorms with each writhe and wiggle. Showed up in my hunting field some years ago, and has been swallowing up my would-be prey in that gaping maw of his ever since. Yeah, I'll probably gotta speak to Wad Nun. Or one of his people. Sandworms are particularly sensitive to the vibrations of the earth, such as those made by running. If you're going to summon one of the beasts, then I suggest you search for their tracks, and then running about making as much of a clamor as possible. I would also suggest you seek a cure for your madness. So basically he's calling me a fucking idiot. It's weird, I'm just seeing the smoke from... Oh, there's fog in today. So it's obscuring the... Alright, that makes sense. Let's go kill us a sandworm. You got yelled at tanking Qarn? What kind of problems did you have tanking Qarn, buddy? I never really saw Qarn as that difficult of a place. Well, the biggest difficulty in Qarn were the other people, really. Report to Curious Gorge. Which means back to Costa del Sol. Now, seriously though, Fan, I want to hear why somebody was yelling at you for tanking Qarn. Because you're one of the few players I really trust in this game. So if somebody was upset at you, I want to hear why. If I can give advice, I'm going to. Though my initial gut reaction is that the people were just being dicks. Your crystal grows ever stronger, and felling the raging sandworm, the beast within you surely rouses to wakefulness. When you next do battle, methinks you will find yourself capable of movements heretofore unfamiliar to you. When you have mastered your new talents, return to me, and in the meanwhile, I shall continue my study of the ancient texts. So I have learned and my Unleash the Beast power. I hear the whispers of the village ancestors. My next power I learned from you. Curious Gorge goes to Wineport. Oh, Unchained. Nullifies the damage penalty by defiance. Can only be used. Oh, can only be executed under the effect of defiance. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's the thing. Every single DPS tends to think they're the super unicorn player, and that they're, you know, everything, and that the tank and healer are holding them back. So when a party goes slow, or if a party fails, people always blame the healer or the tank. So don't let that get to you. Now that said, Fan, are you doing anything much for the next hour? If not, how would you like to help my ass do Qarn? Because I could think of nobody I'd rather have healing me. Okay. Let me check my friends list to see if you're on at the moment. Social friends. Yeah, Misha Hishka is okay. Oh, you're doing summoner, or sorry, scholar. But you said you've played summoner and you can still pop off some heals. They're just crap. Because I've considered leveling Arcanist in my off time to try out Summoner and see what it's like. Of course, I've got so many games I consider playing in my off time, but I never quite get around to it. Right, right. But to be honest, that was always going to be a problem for the Summoner-Scholar dichotomy, is while you technically were leveling both, you always were going to be running into either using your bonus stats for mind and being a better healer, but not doing as great as a summoner, or boosting your intelligence and sucking as a scholar, or trying to level evenly and not, or being kind of shit at both. Well, anyway. Sorry, between 2 and 20, but you gotta get stone away for a while. So I can go ahead and queue up the dungeon now, man. Just waiting on your say-so, man. Like clockwork, like butter. This is why it's good to be a tank or to be a healer. Those 4 DPS were probably waiting several minutes. We had it in less than 5 seconds. Ain't that a thing of friggin' beauty? By my terms, this was an extremely sloppy fight, but you see how fast and how easy that was. Love having a beast gauge spender now. This is easy. This is fun. Okay, so the only screw up there was mine. Get out the fire, get out the fire. Okay. Actually having to concentrate for this fight, so I'm going to be a little bit quiet there, Mom. We've got this one by the ass at this point. Yep, that was like butter. What do we have here for loot? Foreskin ring bands, okay. Kill it! Now that a water claw in there, it has a mechanic where it falls down when it dies. You want it to fall down on that pressure plate, or else it's going to get right back up. Talked about that yesterday, I do believe. Come on, get one of you get on the plate. One of you get on the plate. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Good boy. This is going so much easier than I remember Qarn going. Downside is I've got an amazing healer and I can't give them a commendation because I'm partied up with them. But you see how quickly I'm leveling through here. I'm also getting chain bonus from the kills, which is a good thing. I might need to put convalescence back on my bar. This thing's kicking the crap out of me. That monk doesn't understand the concept of focusing fire, so he's not going to get my Benny. I'm going to give my commendation to the archer. Hell has officially frozen over. We're to the second boss. Okay. Oh, yeah. This boss, it's got a mechanic where we got to kill the soul stone to make the guardian part itself vulnerable. Okay. He's down. Fuck him up. We'll probably have to go through a couple of 2-3 cycles of this. Oh, I've been using Inner Boost just for the damage. There's more to it. It actually increases my defense for a few seconds while it's up. I can store that. Make myself slightly even more defensible for a while. No, you come back, you deal with me. Leave them alone. This is our fight, man. Don't make me put your big rocky ass in timeout. And that was a well-timed limit break. And more healer crap. Unfortunately, our healer is level 50 and change. It was sloppy, but we survived, and we survived well. Okay. Trick is, how much of that sloppy was my own doing? Crap, more of these chuckleheads. And we've got to do an avoir du pas on the rock. Come on, buddy. Okay, it looks like we're going forward without doing the side loot rooms. Okay. Alright. The monk has spoken. Ow. And he's beating on the crotch. Crap. Okay. I don't know why that monk keeps picking an off-target, off primary. But then again, now that's what the bard is doing. That's a shit guy. If you would focus fire, I would take less pain. We're not even going to go for the treasure chests that are right there. The monk has spoken. Commendations, I don't... got this guy. It's easy enough. Those verges, this is similar. Okay, while they're up, randomly shoot demo deaths around. The more of them that are gone, well, yeah. The more of them that are up, more of them, well, doing my job of trying to keep them focused on me so they don't have to deal with them. And that would be why the monk says that they're crap, because they're literally several soul levels below him. Giving it to the bard. Because you have one to give away every time you finish a dungeon, it's usually considered good to give them to somebody you think who did a good job. So that's what I did. And I got no comms. Van, how many comms did you get off of that one, buddy? Well, that's good. You deserved them. Never gonna argue with a good healer getting comms over my decent tanking. I'm just bummed that not a single bit of gear out of there dropped that I could use. It was all ranged DPS or healer kit. You might have forgot how to scholar, but the only person that died was me. And as the tank, it's my job to die so nobody else has to. That mess up was entirely my fault for forgetting that those bees are suicide bombers. I think I might preface this. I think I might preface this video when it goes up with hashtag the monk has spoken. But that would just make me look like a total dick. I can't say too much. I've been the impatient DPS before. Back in the City of Heroes days where scrappers were, well, they were technically melee DPS, but yet they had defenses that were 75% that of a regular tank. So a skilled scrapper who knew the ins and outs of their class and knew what they were doing and very well could solo most group content. I know, I did it. Well, this was back early on in the life cycle of MMORPGs, back when everybody was still doing the EverQuest style of doing things, which was crowd controllers lock down every monster in a group but one. Tank gets attention of that monster. Ranged DPS wail away at that monster. Melee DPS stands behind tank, picking his nose, just in case, you know, waiting for that monster in case it breaks aggro and goes towards the ranged DPS, so melee DPS can pull it away from them. Otherwise, the melee DPS sits there and does nothing. That was the old EverQuest way of doing things. And people insisted on doing things that way with City of Heroes, even though the mechanics were entirely different. I mean, I was in a level 35, again, out of 40 at the time, dungeon encounter with a pickup group I'd never met before, and it was going very painfully slowly. Because every time it's like, okay, we're going to engage this group, we're going to lock this, and this one down, we're going to attack this one first, we're going to go through our rotations like so, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I was just sitting there saying, you guys realize I could solo this faster than what we're talking. I mean, and I kept being told, dude, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing damage? You should be standing back and waiting for aggro to peel off of the tank. I'm sitting here thinking, what? So I'm like, okay, I will show you. So I proceeded to go off in a completely different direction, because this was a map, a dungeon that had two ways through to the final boss. They were going one way. I'm like, okay, screw it. I will go the other way. In 10 minutes, I was further progress on the other side of the map than they were in an hour. And I got told, well, if you're just going to be disruptive, we're kicking you from the party and reporting you. So I got reported for being better than an entire group. Ah, just my luck. I scavenged this here oven thinking I could use it to make myself hot meals. But it looks to be in a bad way. Lots of dents, a few holes even. Hey, you're pretty well traveled, ain't you? Have you ever seen one of these before? Or better yet, do you know how to fix it? No? Bah. Wait, I know who we ought to ask. Mind showing this to Marquis for me? He repaired a clockwork toy I found once, so maybe he can do something with it. Is there something I can do for you? Here. This is an alchemist's alembic. You say the boy wishes to use it for cooking? I suppose it would be possible were I to make some modifications, but I would need a bronze ornamental hammer to do so. Can you bring me one? You only need to go so far as Camp Drybone to find a merchant who sells tools. So I need to go find a bronze ornamental hammer. Okay, so I just... Okay. The thing is, the gross nasty practice they're talking about in that is something people actually do. That creeps my ass out. Oh, okay, let us find... let us find ourselves a tool shop. There's a junk monger. There's a hunter scholar. Merchant and mender. I need a bronze ornamental hammer. 511. Funny thing is, I could have just went into my blacksmithing skill and probably made one a lot faster and cheaper. But fuck it. I didn't want to bother with that. I can convert the alembic into a makeshift oven, but only once you have brought me that hammer. And here is an ornamental hammer for you. Thank you. It shan't take more than a day, I believe. It is strange. I know I must have learned these skills long ago, but I haven't the foggiest when and where I was. We're going to take the silver pieces. Now, what does Marquis want? You can't take it with you. Marquis has a personal request to make of you. Excuse me, do you have a moment? It concerns this broken horologe, which was found in the pocket of a man brought here for burial. There is something familiar about it, but just what I cannot say. If perhaps I could tinker with the device, it will come with me. It'll come to me. But I lack the proper tools to do so. I would ask that you journey to Ul'dah in my stead to obtain a bullpoint chisel and a pair of needle-nose pincers. If you are willing to do this, please note that they are uncommon tools, and you may need to visit the Goldsmith's Guild and browse the markets in order to find them. All right. Think she has. Let her rest. Let her have her rest. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we need to go to find a bullpoint chisel and needle nose pliers. And I gave my commentary on racism and prejudice short and sweet. Black, white, gay, straight, I could give a shit. Can you do your job? That's what I care about. Welcome, welcome. What might a discerning... My word, did you say needle-nose pincers? You must be a skilled craftsman indeed. Please, take this pair as a gift. By the way, do you have representation here in the exchange? If not, I would be most interested in discussing a partnership. I do need to get to the Goldsmithing Guild. Over here. I can just take the map. You're forgetting I have those. Alrighty. Memedesu? A bullpoint chisel? Why, yes. We happen to have a surplus of that particular tool. By all means, take one if you so desire. An odd request, if you don't mind me saying. It has a very limited number of applications. Now I have the tools, I can go speak with Marky Mark. Now, for those who don't get it, as it were, horologe is a fancy, archaic way of saying a clock. I'm sure it's a particular type of clock, but it's a clock. Anybody who's watched Fairy Tail and seen Lucy Hartfilia summon her horologia would understand. In fact, when it comes to Fairy Tail, there's one character that I've kind of borrowed a little bit of in making a lot of my role-playing characters, and that would happen to be one Urza Scarlet, the brokenly overpowered swordswoman. And it looks like somebody bought my materia, so that's 1,000 some odd gil waiting for me when I get back. Woohoo. And here we are, back of the Church of St. Ramalama Ding Dong. Have you brought the tools I requested? Yes, here you go. Something occurs to me. Please wait a moment. It was for naught. Though I repaired the device easily, this sensation that stirs within me remains a mystery. But how did I do it? These hands. My hands, they moved with a mind of their own, deftly manipulating the clockwork mechanisms. There was no doubt or uncertainty. I knew exactly what to do, as though I had performed the same motions countless times before. Pardon me, this was a mistake. Please take the horologe to Sister Elenad. The man who once owned it is currently in her care, and I think it best that it be returned to him. Okay. This brings up a concept called muscle memory. If you've done a repetitive action so many times, you can literally do it without engaging your mind. It's a concept that's very familiar to martial artists, athletes. I mean, you do a particular kick or you do a particular punch so many times, you don't think about it, you just do it. I mean, if you do a particular habit so many times, you don't think about it, you just do it. And good morrow to you, madam. Have you come to pay your respects to this man? Never before have I seen such a queer device. You say that it measures the passing of time? Again, British English. When they say queer, they don't mean queer like we do here in the States. Mayhap they are more common in Garlemald. I am given to understand that its cities are filled with all manner of amazing technologies. Marquis said it belonged to the deceased? Oh dear. You don't suppose that the owner might have been a Garlean spy? It may behoove us to notify the authorities in Camp Drybone. But, mayhap more importantly, how did Marquis manage to repair this device? I knew he had a talent for the trades, but this goes far beyond mending fences or thatching roofs. Okay. Ilkum would offer succor to the priests of Church of St. Blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, Wilhelmina. You don't know me, but I have observed you assisting the priests in their work. I, too, would like to offer what succor I might. Since tending the lich yard in this heat can quickly sap one's energies, perhaps a restorative drink made to combat fatigue would be ideal? Of course, Aqua del Sol. That would surely do the trick. To make it, I would need a freshly cut Brazo del Sol. I've not the skill of arms to slay a wild Sabotender del Sol, but you do, so you need only go as far as the spring east of Camp Drybone. The beasts are often sighted in that vicinity. If you brought me one of their arms, I could make enough Aqua del Sol for everyone. Okay. It's made from a cactuar, basically. And cactuars are essentially giant cactuses. It's cactus juice. So, anybody that remembers that peyote is also a cactus. I'm not giving these people a quenchy drink. I'm getting them high. Or to quote the Tripping Balls episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, try cactus juice. It's the quenchiest. Oh, man. Sometimes I have too much fun doing this. Hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet. No, you don't. Let's take this Brazo del Sol. Okay, an Aqua del Sol is literally water of the sun. Sun water. Yep, I'm getting them high. Oh, Lord. And I'm surprised they actually referenced such a concept in a children's cartoon back in the day anyway, but hey, whatever. Have you considered my request? Here, have some cactus leaves. I never imagined you would return so quickly. Thank you so much. It is an incredibly simple beverage to prepare, if you would but wait one moment. There. This should serve as a sample of... Wait, don't drink it! I mean, I was hoping you might give the first glass to Marquis on my behalf. Of course, I intend to provide everyone with a glass eventually. It's just that Marcus is so... Well, surely you noticed what a handsome man he is. Oh, Lord. So she masked doing a service to the... Masked me trying to get her, you know... Oh, Lordy. Oi, what is it? For me? Thank you. Perhaps it was the girl who... No, it couldn't have been her. I appreciate Ilkum's kind gesture, but Father Iliad is in far greater need of this juice. His work places great strain on the body and soul, yet he continues to neglect his health. This next quest should get me level 36. What does Elened want? Oh, I could have gotten... Okay. Sister Elened is staring at you with great sadness in her eyes. I recognize you now, Wilhelmina. Allow me to express my deepest condolences for those who have lost their lives in the attack. I apologize if this upsets you, but you should know that the bodies of your comrades are presently being removed from the waking sands and prepared for transport here. If you wish to leave this work to others, I understand. However, taking part might help you find closure. So, I've got to go bring the corpses from the waking sands back here. It's a FedEx quest. You know, it is the very definition of a FedEx quest, but they couch it in a way I don't mind. Basically, yeah, they're Canadian. One moment while I'm walking. Alrighty. Working on getting ourselves back to the waking sands to go bring out your dead. Here's hoping we find someone that's not quite dead yet, who's getting better and doesn't want to go in the cart and feels happy. we're back in Eastern Thanalan. Or rather, Western Thanalan, okay. Admittedly, sometimes I get my left and my right and my east and my west mixed up. They are... oh. They're a botanist. Okay. But yeah, you can level up as a miner and a blacksmith and all that other as well. And they treat them like full jobs. With quests and objectives and challenges. Probably, let me see what time it is. Okay, I'm right at about my normal 2-hour cutoff. So we'll probably get this quest done and call it a day. Eh? You don't look like one of them church fellas. Not that I'll turn you away, no sir. As you can see, we've got a pile of identified or unidentified bodies over yonder. No one's come to claim them, so off to the lich yard they go. Be thankful you didn't have to go inside and see the carnage for yourself. It was the stuff of nightmares, I tell you. Goddamn Imperials. I don't know what quarrel they had with these folks, and I sure as hell don't want to know. The sooner we put this behind us, the better. Say, I ain't seen you around here before. Or do you just have one of them faces? Never mind. Anyway, there's a carriage come to haul the bodies to the lich yard out by the east gate. There's only 8 left to load up, but seeing as I'm exhausted from carrying all the others, I have a mind to leave the remainder to you. Might want to cover your nose while you work. Some of these folk are starting to turn. Okay, do as he says. Just kidding. Oh, I like how they gave it less time to pick up the smaller bodies. A disconcerted coachman. Yep. Here's some corpses for you. What happened to the big fella? Ah, forget it. Just bring the next batch and toss him in the back. Ain't like they'll complain if you're rough. I'm like, dude, that's dead people. Don't be a jackass. Well, ain't you a strong one? 4 in 1 trip. Reckon there's no need for me to lend a hand with the rest, then. Asshole. Feel bad for Narashia there. We can't exactly bury her in a human graveyard either, can we? Poor thing. come on, let's finish this before I die of old age. Dude, you are a dick. We're talking about dead people, people who died horribly, and you're worried about your time frame? That should be all of them. Thanks for the help. Reckon it won't take too long to deliver all the corpses to the Lich Yard. Even so, you might want to hurry back and tell them our work here is done. That guy's a little bit of an asshole. Okay. Depressing work, but we do what we must. You've got to realize how impactful this was the very first time I ever ran it. Because I'm going through things I've seen before at this point. And I remember seeing that original fight where Livia Salce Junius, or whatever the crap her name was, stormed into the Waking Sands with her soldiers and slaughtered everybody. I remember the first time I saw that and being very shaken up. I remember being moved to tears, literal tears, the first time I saw Narashia die while giving me a message and apologizing for not being able to protect Minfilia. I remember swearing at that time I would find a way to find that NPC, that Garlean bitch that did all that, and I would make sure that she died slowly and painfully. Imagine my satisfaction when I found out she's a dungeon boss later. You know, not any big spoiler, because, you know, it's a Chekhov's gun situation. You see some big named villain in a cutscene, you're gonna fight them later. You see some legendary weapon mentioned or glimpsed over for a few seconds, you're gonna fight it later. You know, it's a common trope in storytelling. Chapter 1, you see a gun on the mantelpiece mentioned. You're sure by the end of the book it's going to be pulled off the mantelpiece and shoot somebody in the chest or the scrotum. I see that you heeded my advice. I pray that, in doing so, you found some small measure of peace. The first carriage from Vesper Bay arrived not long ago, and we have begun preparing your comrades for burial. I had a hand in the initial rites, and I would like for you to know that for many death came quickly. Rest assured we will treat them with the utmost respect, and do everything we can to shepherd them to Thal's realm. The Warden works in mysterious ways. Okay. Sister Elinette has some difficult news to share with you. There is one thing I regret to inform you. Though we wish to inter your comrades on church grounds, the number of fallen scions far exceeded our estimates. After discussing the matter with Father Iliad, we have concluded that we have no choice but to bury the dead in the same plots as those who perished in the calamity. Please forgive us. We do not wish to dishonor the memory of the fallen, but as caretakers of the Lich Yard, these are the realities that we must face. What befell your order was an unforgivable crime. If you would have these villains brought to justice, please consider making a pilgrimage to the Mark of the Warden. Though I do not follow the teachings of Izema, it is said to offer prayers to her mark is to invoke her divine judgment. Regardless of your faith, mayhap it would be worth the effort. I'm not going to go now, because I'm going to call it for now, because of everything we've gotten done today. It was a good run. I got a level. I got 2 levels. Had a good dungeon run with my good friend Fan, player Misha. And I got a good bit of advancement in the story. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. This has been Harmony Muse. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening. I will be back later tonight with Shroud of the Avatar. Thank you, and have a good one.